For me, can say John Dramani Mahama, he is making very, very big moves. Immediately after the elections, one of the things which came out, Ghana for especially following this whole political landscape, is the fact that IMF bailout program now Akufo-Addo and the government, former government, ex-president Akufo-Addo government, there were lots of things and because a hidden clause. Now this hidden clause, we got to know later after the election. Says some of the hidden clause was what pushed the Bank of Ghana to strip or take the licenses of many banking sectors and also banking companies here in Ghana. I'm talking about a whole lot of companies. As a boom, consolidated bank as a Birch Capital, Unibank, Capital Bank, First Atlantic, GN Bank. All these banks, their licenses were taken. Now, according to bank heads, they said, Bank of Ghana usually, Bank of Ghana, so they should make sure they get money and assets on to make sure, okay, this is the threshold that you operate as a bank. But that threshold, they didn't more crown or mama whom people, I'm just saying they can get the money or not. Any license. So that's what we saw. That's what we saw. Said the banking sector literally collapsed somewhere in 2017, 2018. Now, President John Dramani Mahama, and sending the PSA IMF bailout program, one of the clauses inside was to collapse certain banks. IMF and the saying collapsing certain banks. One of the things to in the IMF deal was to also engage or bring more taxes. That is why all of a sudden that's sorry e-levy tax, all of a sudden that's sorry COVID-19 tax, all of a sudden that's sorry transportation tax, all of a sudden that's sorry tourism tax. These were stupid taxes which were pushed on the necks of Ghana, all because of the hidden clauses Akufo-Addo and then the ex-government they signed, all because they wanted IMF bailouts. Now IMF bailouts, and who conditions need be say you do these things. Now John Dramani Mahama winning elections is saying he is going to go using a different approach. Menoka say in a video he was speaking to Bloomberg. If you're following this whole thing, you'll be out pay business news near there. Bloomberg actually is one of the leading source of business news in the whole world, especially in the United States of America. Honomu busy, and even the founder crown or a billionaire. President John Dramani Mahama appeared on Bloomberg and now old Chim say the whole IMF bailout program they are going to renegotiate it. Renegotiating it, Nebisa and say, what are some of the things you'll be taking into contest? And I say you'll be taking into account. And John Dramani Mahama Epa say some of the things we'll be taking into account is say clauses are almost signing say you be bedding Ghana for it more taxes you be seeing fuel. Any other things, and aside from that, to banks you go not any legitimate cause behind, they might reconsider bringing those banks back. And also, John Dramani Mahama, this very important question: say, would he take the IMF money? And guess what, John Dramani Mahama say?
Actually, we have just had a staff visit, and so our Ministry of Finance is engaging with the IMF. There were few issues. We were not at the table when this agreement was drawn up, and so coming into government, there are a few issues that we thought we should raise with the IMF, including the issue of tax rationalization, because of the target of achieving 24% revenue to GDP by 2028. The program required that revenue should continue increasing at a certain rate. Unfortunately, what the previous government had done was just to slap on more taxes. And we had gotten to a stage where the more taxes that were put on, the less revenue that came in. And so it's necessary for us to look at the whole tax handle, rationalize them, make them more transparent, easy to understand, so that we can have better compliance. We've had that discussion with the IMF, and the IMF have agreed to provide technical assistance for us to do that rationalization.
So engagements have already started. Have you talked potentially about the program ending in May of 2026 being extended or an additional program being added on?
We've not talked about an extension of the program. We are determined to continue with this program. I think that it means that we must be more prudent in our handling of our finances. We must also look on the expenditure side and see how we can cut waste and also shift resources to more priority programs. And so it's a whole basket that we're looking at. We also have the issue of the debt restructuring and the humps that have been created. This year, we have to pay in excess of 15 billion on the domestic debt exchange. So what we've done is to reactivate the sinking fund and put more resources into it to take care of the repayments that have to be made this year. But all in all, we have a cordial relation with the IMF. The next review, which will be the fourth review, is due in April. But before that, we'll present the budget in March. And so the budget will take into focus some of the issues that have come out from the staff mission. We're hoping to receive the aid memoir today or tomorrow. And looking at the issues that IMF raises, we'll incorporate them in the budget.
I see. And so you don't want any additional funds from the IMF. That is off the table.
Well, it's not off the table. I guess that it's a journey we just started. We've had a good discussion, and if it's necessary to look at additional funds or to extend the program, we'll look at it. But for now, we're determined to continue on this trajectory.
You did so, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Kanye. You see, Abrofon, they always want us say yen kutu omo. Omunya ya yen wo form ho saa ko pem tam yebewu. Bibini wako we yawo abruchire ene de also ya Americani. We bisa question no. Last question was answer bisa ya we bisa so many questions in between the same thing. I was saying bisa BM say, so you don't want the IMF money again. And Mahama was so smart to tell them, say, hey, listen, we will continue with the current program the previous government was on. After the program ends, we will know what to do. We are not saying we'll continue. We are not also saying we won't continue. When the time reaches there, we will know. So you see, John Dramani Mahama, they can't really predict his next move. And John Dramani Mahama, a person who said no, I didn't be a kwaji IMF in the first tenor in office. Ambuano. Akufo-Addo beji IMF in the first and second tenor in office. Ambuano. And IMF no ye be chinchi munsa. A weapon. Tieni IMF scan a weapon. Ye de ma on here the conditions e ka ho. Go bank. Ye way. At the end of the tenor no. Ubun say esan say IMF scan wa kwaji nti no. Ye was setting key policies and the clauses bi wo mu a e was say wo fulfilling. In fulfilling those, no baby you tenor no. Now one, I want bagana. Scanner unya because what is the ultimate fan yeshe. Scanner kwaji yes no intimi fan yeshe. We enusifi wa. Obesan so aye de aboka. Obesan so the taxes at to amount for mukru no so. Into baby you 4 years no. Now why you so unpopular. Na Ghana for kran pay with ima shebium. Into John Dramani Mahama who said no. E kwanya ye de fa. Yede me fast so me first time. Akwanya yede Akufo-Addo fast so me first time. Akwanya yede Akufo-Addo fast so the second term no. I wouldn't come and also follow that trajectory. Even if IMF can ye pepua and what say ye ho nkwa. We must take the money standing on our feet, not on our knees. Tieni ye be discan ye be John ya discan no. Yan kotokoto mo enje okotokoto mo je na ebeka conditions bebre conditions na epi ebi kra trumu yes trumu oba ni oba beda bema ni bema be for bema trumu eka IMF clause no Mahama adwen no wo Mahama team no is working. Iti onkwaje IMF scan ya ka che say nipa na o ka che say o de eye trumu anti trumu bill ba no sake no Jini position. Also, kase trumu na good. Onko yes adie no na den de wabe so unpopular. Enu nti not in baby din. Se Ghana 10 million eni ebenya. Any bit may use ye be 2 times a day. Ye bet is 10 million ye be ye export. Yanka say can and 1 ye betty. And 1 ye betty. Ye know ye be dinner cran crassa. Ya is can ye be home for son ye betty. So African so my dream will be Trump essay on my aid beam. And you see so Sahel. You see scanning agent the credit heading. Burkina Faso coup d'etat guy na akwano ye coup d'etat no onji iskebiaye onji iskem fi France so if I was sacking France cry if ni memu was sacking British for inti ba ne sana ne country no omo onyam kanea omo didi economy ne koso omo to go de bi okro nim onu de onya nipa na onu de onya nipa ena ye di ya jiska ya bobisia ena ye ka chese mundi turum mungu banks Ghana for mofa levies and true muso in kwasia same say Mahama estate no say no where the thing is going if Sahel states Niger Burkina Faso Guinea if these countries because here me every coast cross some person join the Sahel state if these countries omu this kebia enfia brofo na omu timi e survive ya adenta na ye a okuni kudita emba yo memu ye timi survive I think na ye ntimi ye den and survive. We'll be giving you more updates. In some day, any DH, the baby piano, we will update you.